Okay, so if we have any technical difficulties, Eli's here to help. So he'll work with Avery and we'll get that going. So I'm your moderator for today. I'm here to make sure things run smoothly. Your panelist for today is Michelle DeRoche. She's the Human Resource Manager at Hood, HP Hood. So here's how the session will work. Michelle will share different career options and possibilities in the field of manufacturing and some interesting facts about her industry that she thinks you should know. Make sure you're paying close attention in case you have any questions. Once she's finished, we'll have a Q&A session. You can ask questions by typing into the Q&A box on the right-hand side of your screen, or you can raise your hand during the presentation. To raise your hand, look at the bottom of the screen and click the button with 3 little dots. You'll see an option that will allow you to raise your hand. If you have a question you'd like to ask verbally, please be respectful, and I will unmute you and you can ask your question. So let's give it over to Michelle.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay, great. So thank you very much for your time today. We are a dairy manufacturing business located here in Lafargeville, New York, which is about 18 miles from Watertown, New York. Our main company, HP Hood, was founded actually in 1846, and our main office is in Lynnfield, Massachusetts. Some of the products that we actually manufacture here in Lafargeville would be cottage cheese, sour cream, and yogurt. So the positions that we actually offer here in Lafargeville, being that we are a manufacturing business, we have positions that have to do with maintenance. So we are looking for mechanics. So things that have to do with BOCES. So BOCES is featuring this particular career fair. We're looking for people that have to do with maintenance. So we're looking for PLC. We're looking for people that are able to weld, lots of different technical features that we're looking for. We have a lot positions that have to do with operating the machinery here. So lots of those positions in our packaging area. We have lab positions. So the positions that we have in that area, they are when we receive milk, they are inspecting the products that we're bringing in. Obviously, they're testing the milk, making sure that it's safe. So there's a lot of science that goes into our business, believe it or not. And that's very exciting. So there's a lot of certifications that go into that. So we have lab technicians as well, which are skilled labor. And then we also have the packaging area, like I said, the production area, track area, forklift, warehouse. So there's the logistics part of it, shipping, receiving. We also have our set room and our processing area. So those are very technical positions and very detail-oriented positions. So those positions, we often send those people to Cornell. So they are learning about how the heat temperatures and the menu as far as how to process and how important it is to learn about what we're doing here. So that as they're learning the processes, they are actually going to learn the HTST systems at Cornell. So they're going through additional trainings there, and the company actually pays for them to actually learn these trainings. So what we do here, there's a lot of education that goes behind it. So it's very skilled labor that we look for a lot. So in addition to the positions that we actually offer here in Lafargeville, we have other positions. So as every business has, there's finance, there is computers, there's sales positions, there are human resource positions, and of course there's supervisory positions, there are management positions, clerical positions. We are constantly looking for great talent. We are developing many relationships with a lot of colleges and technical schools, driving schools, because of course, you know, shipping our product all across the country is a huge feat in and of itself, especially with, you know, things that have been going on lately as far as, you know, even with this whole COVID situation, everybody's looking for, you know, drivers and whatnot. So there's a lot that goes into a business like the dairy industry, and looking for great talent. So we spend a lot of time and energy training our people here, so that they understand the technical piece of it, the quality, because of course it's, you know, we're dealing with food, we're dealing with safety, and we want to make sure that our people that are working here understand that the product that we put out is being going to our consumers, and that we're putting out a quality product. So the education and the time that we're putting in to our people is very important to us, and we're always looking for the great talent. I know that's a lot of information, and we're always looking to, you know, right now we're looking into virtual trainings, even because we don't want that training to stop for some of our people. So there are even maintenance programs that we're looking into for virtual trainings right now. Does anybody have any questions about any of the things I just kind of, you know, I know I put a lot of information out there, but there are lots of different career opportunities here at Hood. And there's, you know, people transfer from within our company to different locations. There's a lot career opportunities within our location, and if they're able to relocate, there's a ton of opportunities. We have great benefits here as far as our health insurance. There's a great pension program here in our facility for our hourly workers, which a lot of facilities don't necessarily have around our local area. So we have a strong pension program, which is a great sell for a lot of people.
You mentioned mechanics and heavy equipment. What other kinds of roles do people have at your company?
Sure. So like I said, so there's different categories as far as we have tank receiving. So those are the people that actually bring in the milk and receive the milk. And then from that area, they have processing. So those are the people that process the milk. So they bring it in, and they are the ones that we send off to Cornell to get the additional training. We have the lab people who are doing the testing of the milk, making sure that it's safe, right? So it's coming from farmers. And then we also have the people that are in the packaging area. So those are the areas that, you know, from after the product is made, whether it's a yogurt, sour cream, or cottage cheese, is going into the cups. So they are the ones that are making sure, you know, operating the machinery that's putting it into the cups. And then we have the, let's see, so we have maintenance, packaging, production, warehouse. So those are the people that are actually, you know, putting it into the areas where then it's right before it's going out to be shipped. So we don't actually have a fleet here. Some areas have a fleet. We have a system where we have people that come in and pick up our product. Some of the facilities actually have an entire fleet, like a shipping fleet, where they have their own trucking systems. Like Oneida and Vernon have an entire fleet. Like they have truck drivers on staff. We hire people out to pick up our product.
Do you manufacture the cups, or where do you get the cups?
We buy the cups. We don't manufacture the plastic parts of it. We have to buy the plastic. You know, like the containers that it goes into. We just actually make the food, like the yogurt and the sour cream and the cottage cheese. So all the ingredients we purchase.
And then you just put them together there and package them and sell.
Right. So we mix, so yes, so we mix the ingredients together, but so we use cultures. So there's a lot of science that goes into the particular products that we actually make here in our facility. So that's why it's so important for the training. You know, that our people are trained properly. There's a lot of science that goes into what we actually do in our particular facility. And it's all about quality. So obviously when you're dealing with food, there's a lot of quality, a lot, you know, cleanliness and, you know, all those kinds of things are very important to our business.
Do you have locally sourced ingredients?
So yes, so obviously the milk is things that we are that we purchase locally. So as far as other ingredients, uh, those are sometimes sourced locally. You know, right now with you know, COVID, that's been a challenge, you know, being able to get ingredients, you know, across the board for everybody, especially when you're dealing with you know, anything that's food right now. Everybody, you know, I mean, anybody who's going into the grocery stores can see, you know, the challenges that everybody's facing right now. So, you know, the purchasing of products are tough. So locally, it's a challenge, but we do have our suppliers that we have relationships with and continue to have relationships with. But as anything, you know, as the supply and demand goes up, it's challenging.
What kind of position within the company would be the person who would procure those supplies or find,
So we
decide where you're
have,
going to buy things?
so we have a procurement. So we do have a position here in-house that does has a responsibility to procure to order those products. But then there is a main procurement person who is doing that also from a corporate level. And then there's an emergency piece that also has to do with you know, a situation like this that's overseeing that piece. So that's obviously that's all kicked into gear in this particular situation. Overseeing that, making sure everybody and that, you know, people have what they need during this time. And, you know, because obviously it's a customer service level, right? Everybody's looking for a certain level. They don't want to, you know, you don't want to let your customers down. And who needs what. So, and we're doing the farm to family pieces as well. So we've had that need to fill. And we've been able to do that. And we've also been able to fill our backpack programs for the schools. And so it's we've been very, very busy. So we've been able to procure the supplies that we've needed. But that's meant people, you know, working around the clock to get everything that they needed. Yeah, I have to say everybody's done an amazing job during this time to get what we needed to get done. The backpack program was a big thing, you know, because, you know, we're still, you know, locally, we're doing that locally. We've, even as a company, we have helped to, you know, we're a privately owned company, so we've even helped to produce, you know, take some of the farmers' milks and, you know, help to do things with the milk, you know, on the side, provided labor and helped to, you know, process the milk for people that were dumping, you know, on the side. So in addition to the high demand of producing our products, we've done some things on the side to help the community up in New England, and we've done things locally as well. So our employees have really been working hard through this time.
Can you tell us a little bit about the farm to family?
Sure. So the farm to family is different cheeses and products that it's a government program for families in need. There's a program out there to help families, and so There was, they had they've had orders, for us. They'd asked us to produce so much, product. And we were able to produce the product, and, there was a certain time frame. And of course, there's some challenges. We had to hook up some different cameras and whatnot. And of course it, adds different glitches and whatnot. But, but getting the supplies is the biggest piece to all of that, right? So, it was challenging, but we were able to fill that order for people. And it's a big deal because, these people need this in this time, right? There's a lot of people who aren't working. So you feel that extra pressure to make sure you can get that produced. And our employees feel that pressure, right? Everybody wants to do the right thing, and we were able to come through. So.
Awesome. Attendees, do you have any questions? Meadow or Justin or Avery or Miranda? Any questions you want to find out more about?
This is Celeste. I always have questions because I'm always kind of listening and making sure that I'm sort of paying attention. So you mentioned a lot of different positions available. Can you kind of talk a little bit about education level and salary for the different positions?
Sure. So our facility is a union facility. So what that means is it is all based on seniority. So it's on a job. It's a job bid process. So typically, if they come in new, they come in as a general operator, like a floater position, and they come in at a typically at a lower rate, at like typically $50 an hour, and they are typically there not very long, about 4 to 6 weeks in their training. Once they're able to excuse me, they're training in an area, then they'll go to the training there. But then once they're able to be trained in a particular area, there's level 2 and level 1 jobs. Typically pay higher. So those jobs are $22 an hour to like $21.90 is what the collective bargaining agreement is. We're about to go through another negotiation. Class 1 job, and the other job is a little bit lower than that, 2067, I think is what that's at. So they'll make 80% of that rate. In addition, right now, the employees are also getting an additional $3 an hour. And that will be in play as long as COVID is going on. So there's additional monies that they're getting paid. So once they're trained in an area, and they go into a class 2 or class 3, they'll be getting more money. So, and I said, like they said, the benefits are great. We are also paying into a pension plan. So they also have that. There's monies that are also being paid in weekly for them towards a pension.
Can you talk a little bit about what a pension is?
Sure. So a pension is something that when you retire, is something that they would be able to, they'll get once they retire. So it's a retirement is what a pension is. It's a guaranteed retirement. It's not something typically people think of right now, but you should be thinking about those things. It's a guaranteed payment when you retire.
And it's not as common anymore as it used to be. So finding a company that offers it is great.
Right. And so, the particular pension here is in really good standing.
You also mentioned benefits earlier. Can you be a little specific about what benefits you offer?
So the benefits here, they pay a weekly rate, and it's through the union, and they have health, dental, and vision, which is all included, and they have excellent benefits. And the company actually pays towards an HRA for them as well, which actually covers their deductible. So they have really good benefits. And then that HRA, a lot of people, they leave, So there's people who retire who have, I had some person, somebody retired recently and they had, I think they had $15,000 that they had saved on it and never used it. And so they kept that and they can use it towards their medical when they retire. So it's nice to have.
What hours do people typically work?
So it's a dairy business. So our plant is currently typically a Monday through Friday right now, but the dairy industry is a 7-day week business. So depending on the job, so like a processing room, so they'll get us set up for the beginning of the week. So they'll come in on Sunday night and they'll start, the process. So they'll start making the cheese and they start doing those kinds of things. And it depends obviously on production. So if there's a high production need, there could be days that we are running, 6 days a week, or if it's during our holiday production. So holiday is typically a busier season for us. So we are busier during the holidays because people are cooking more. So that would be a busier season for us. It just depends on, if we're picking up extra product or if we're picking up an extra line, or say if another plant, maybe a machine goes down and then they send those orders to us for some reason, that might happen. But for the most part, we are 5 days a week. It's Monday through Friday if the job isn't the one that they come in on Sunday night.
So let's see. Do you have to pay back any expense for training?
Do the employees? No. So we pay for their training. They don't pay for their training. We pay for their training. We invest in them, in their training and their development. And Hood is very big into their believing in their training, their development, and the employers are, like I said, it's a privately held company, and the employer, the owners will come to the company, walk around, and talk to the employees, shake their hands. It's pretty awesome. They send out, the employees actually just did a thank you video to the owners. It was pretty cool. So there's about 3,000 employees in the company, but it's a very tight-knit company, and it's constantly evolving. Our technology is always evolving. We're always looking to get better and better. And the feedback from the employees, I mean, we have employees who have been here. I have a gentleman who's getting ready to go into his 44th year. So the longevity people that come here, they stay here.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? You can raise a hand if you'd like, or put a question in the chat, in the Q&A box. Michelle, you've given us lots of good information. Thank you.
One of the things though is we do have 3 shifts. So we do have 3 shifts. So there's typically a first, second, and third shift. So we do have 3 shifts that keep the plant running.
Does that go 24 hours?
Yes. So there's typically, the day shift is what typically produces. Second shift keeps it running, and our third shift is the sanitation shift. So third shift, everything is clean from top to bottom. And then it starts back up again.
Okay, any last questions? Thank you, Michelle, giving us lots of good information. Attendees, make sure you check out My GPS for Success to learn more about the different career clusters, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.